Hello everyone, welcome back to our session number 2 on 7th Jan 2025. We are trying to discuss data types, variables, operators. I'll keep it for session number 3, okay? Because I know it might take a lengthier discussion, and purely I'm trying to discuss this concept keeping in mind compiled languages. Okay, keeping in mind compiled languages. So we are trying to discuss data types and variables. Okay. So data types and variables, how it goes, we'll go one by one. Data type. I want to store, and very simple and easiest one is int. Okay. I want to store data. To store data, you need a variable. So what is a variable? Variable is a memory in program to store data. What is a variable? Variable is the memory in program to store data. They are volatile in nature. What is volatile? Volatile ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, what is volatile? Basically, when you run a program, let me open this file. This memory is allocated when your program starts. It is deallocated when the memory, when this program ends. What does it mean? It means that if any data stored in this memory is only applicable from this area to this area, that is the block of the program. That is the reason it is known as volatile. It will never store the data permanently anywhere. Start the program, memory is allocated. End the program, memory is deallocated. Okay. So that is the reason we call variables as volatile in nature, or they are volatile. Just like your RAM program, RAM or ROM. ROM is permanent storage, RAM is temporary storage. Now comes, every variable must be binded to a data type. You cannot store anything and everything you want. Based on the languages, you might get more data types or you might get less. But in C and C++, you'll get int data type, float data type, char data type, and void data type. These are the major data types what you find: int, float, char, and void. Void memory doesn't store anything. You cannot store anything. Why do we need the variable? We'll try to discuss. The very best and easiest way to start is learn integer or int data type. So this is the keyword used, and these are all keywords. Now, when it comes to int, you can store. So how do you declare it? So first comes data type, space, variable name, semicolon. I want more than one. Then you go with data type, space, variable name 1, comma, variable name 2, 2, and so forth. Okay. Any number of variables can be declared in a program, but you have to declare it. Before you use it, you have to declare data type and then the variable name. Now it is interesting. Variable name rules. Naming rules. You have to follow this always as a best practice. Don't use keywords of the language. Okay, I'll explain it in detail. Rule number 2, start the name with alphabet or number. Rule number 2. names cannot be repeated in same scope or block. You'll know this when you proceed further. Okay, you cannot use, don't use keywords of the language. Start the name with alphabet or numbers. Sorry, alphabet or underscore. Sorry. Underscore. Names can be a combination of alphabets, numbers, and underscore. That is in most of the cases. These are the four major things what you people have to remember. Naming rules. I'm not talking about convention. Convention is different. I'll come to conventions later. Okay. Type and then the variable. Data type and variable. Okay. This is applicable for almost any programming language. Almost. Okay. It might vary, which we will discuss as and when we progress. Now comes data type and variable. Can you store anything and everything? No is the answer. Each data type comes with two limitations. Data type limitations. This is very important. Data type limitations. To understand the data type limitation, okay, we have to know some storage capacity. Okay, we have to know the storage capacity, okay, which varies again from language to language. I want to discuss the storage. Data type limitation, or specifically, I would like to discuss storage capacity. This is the tricky area which I was discussing, and I would like to explain it first and keep moving from there. Okay. First, let me take an example. Let's take an example of an area like this. I'll call this as 1 bit. Okay. This can store only one value, which is 0 or 1. Okay. 0 or 1. Remember this point. We have 1 bit. Andre one jaga ide. Either 0 idbodu ಅಥವಾ 1 idbodu. Okay na? Now, let's assume that I have 2 bytes, 2 bits. This is 1 bit. Together it is 2 bits. 1 bit here and 1 bit here. Now I have a question. What is the value I can store here? 0 or 1? I can store 0 or 1. What is the combination of values I can store? Okay, I'll explain it. This I can store 0 or 1. In this, I can store a combination of 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Are we clear? Is that right? The concept of right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I'll give you an example now. Like that. Now, let's assume that I have 4 bits. Each bit can store 0 and 1. Taking the example from the previous one, what is that I can store? I can store 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay. Then comes 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. Yeah. Next, so to make it simpler, I can store up to 15 values. 1, that is 0 first. I'll help you to understand. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can store up to 15 values. This is very important, very basic, very basic. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay. I'll help you people, everyone. Okay. A very beginners. So try to concentrate on what is next one is 6. Okay. Always take the example of 8, 4, 2, 1. Okay. Now, how does it work? Memories. You should add the number which comes here to make it as 6. ಏನೇನು add ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 6 ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿ. Andre, let me explain. I want to add 4 and 2. I'll make it as 1, 1 here. Okay na? ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ 0 ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಈಗ 6 ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is 0, 1, 1, 0. ಈಗ 7 ಬೇಕು. ಶಿಲ್ಪ, can you try? ಯಾವ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 7 ಬರುತ್ತೆ?
4, 2, 1 sir.
ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ 8 ಬೇಕಾ ಬೇಡವಾ?
7 ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 8 ಬೇಡ ಸರ್.
ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೇನೇನ್ ಬೇಕು?
1, 1, 0 ಸರ್.
1, 1, 0 ಹೇಳಿ.
Okay.
7 ತಾನೆ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಏನೇನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
4, 2, 1 ಸರ್.
ಹಂಗಾರೆ 3 ಬೇಕು. ಈಗ 8 ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ? ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1, ಬೇಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0 ಶಿಲ್ಪ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಓಕೆ.
8 ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು?
1, 0, 0, 0 ಸರ್.
ಈಗ 9 ಬೇಕು.
1, 0, 0, 1.
ಸೂಪರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಪುಟ್ಟರಾಜು. 10 ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
1, 0, 1, 0.
ಸೂಪರ್. ಈಗ ಅದೇ ತರನೇ 11 ಏನ್ರಪ್ಪ? ಯುವರಾಜ್ 11 ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ
1, 0, 1, 1.
1, 0,
1, 1.
ಅದೇಂಗಪ್ಪ 11 ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ನಂಗೆ.
8 plus 2 plus 1.
ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ 1, 0,
1, 1.
ಸೂಪರ್. 12 ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ
1, 1, 0, 0.
ಓಕೆ. 13.
1, 1, 0, 1.
1, 1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 12.
0, 1.
1 13 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 1, 1, 1, 0 ಆದ್ರೆ 14 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 1, 1, 1, 1 ಆದ್ರೆ 15 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೂಪರ್. ಈಗ now everyone might be wondering what is happening here. Don't worry, it's very simple. I have represented 0 to 15 in binary language. Computer ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು binary language ಮಾತ್ರ. ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು ಎಲ್ಲಾರು. ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಡೇಟಾ however you want. ಈಗ I am giving you the input. If I have a capacity of 4 bits, if I have a capacity of 4 bits, I can store 15 values, which is 0 to 15. If I want positive and negative numbers, then I can store only 0 to 8, 0 to 7. I know it is tricky. Let me explain now. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Till here it is fine. This 1 represents minus value. Then this will be minus 1. This will be minus 1. 9 ಬರಲ್ಲ, minus 1 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆದ್ರೆ well and good, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. Very simple. Always try to go with this formula 8, 4, 2, 1. Now, if I want to get the next level of numbers, I have to understand the computer language. Now, for the first time ever, you should start thinking, or you will think, and you will know this. You know this. Let me know Anyone who is in this classroom who is using 2 GB RAM in your mobile. If you don't use 2 GB, then it should be 4 GB. If you're not using 4 GB, then it should be 8 GB. Okay? If you're not using 8 GB, then it will be 16 GB. If you're not using 16 GB, then it will be 32 GB. Now you might be wondering, I have something called 12 GB RAM. Sorry, boss, I don't know what is 12 GB RAM is, because computer always goes doubling like this: 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB. Or take one more example. I have a memory, right? You have 32 GB ROM, that is your storage location. You have 64 GB ROM. You have 128 GB ROM, or you have 512 GB ROM, or it is 1024 GB ROM. So try to remember, calculate this part. You will have only this legal combination: 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB RAM. If it is a storage, you will have 32 GB, 64 GB, 128, 512 GB ROM. So exactly it applies to your storage of data in memories. Okay, in variable, you can store only this combination data. That is the reason I was explaining 2-bit, 4-bit, 1-bit. What is the next bit? 8 bits. But still it is fine. You can calculate it. Now, ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗು? ಯಾರಿಗಾರು ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ರಾಮು ಮತ್ತೆ ರಾಮು ಬರದೇ ಈ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ 12 GB ಎಲ್ಲ ತಗೋಬೇಡಿ, ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು. ಯಾರಿಗಾರು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವಾ?
ಸರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ರಿಪೀಟ್.
ಸರ್ ರ್ಯಾಮ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೊಬೈಲಲ್ಲಿರೋ ರ್ಯಾಮ್ಗಳು, ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ. ಓಕೆ, ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್, ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ?
ಅದೇ ಸರ್ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅದೊಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರ್ಯಾಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್?
ಹಾ ಸರ್, ಹೌದು.
ಅದು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಡಬಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು? ಡಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
32,
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
64.
ಈ ತರಾನೇ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆನಾ?
ಓಕೆ.
ಅದೇ ತರನೇ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ರಾಮ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿ, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ 32 ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
64,
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
128,
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
260,
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
512, 1024.
ಇದೇ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಭಾಷೆ. ಈಗ 1024 ಈಗ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ 2 to the power of 10. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿ?
2 to the power of 10.
2 to the power of 10 ಯಾಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ 2 to the power ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. 2 ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0 and 1 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
ಓಕೆ.
ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ 0 and 1, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 2 to the power ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್. ನೀವು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 12 GB ರ್ಯಾಮ್ ತಗೋಬೇಡಿ, ದಂಡ, ವೇಸ್ಟ್. 12 GB ಬರಲ್ಲ, 8 GB ಬರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, 16 GB ಬರಬೇಕು. ಇದು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದೇ 0 and 1. ನೀವು 8 ತಗೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ 16 ತಗೋಬೇಕು, 32 GB ರ್ಯಾಮ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಮೆಮೊರಿನೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ, ಈ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈ ಡಬ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
ಎಸ್.
ಪುಟ್ಟರಾಜು ಅರ್ಥ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ
ಸರ್
ಇದು?
ಅರ್ಥ
Yes,
ಆಯ್ತು
sir.
ಸರ್.
Yes, sir.
ಸೂಪರ್. ಈಗ ಈ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಡೇಟಾನು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗೋದು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಕ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಈಗ ಏನೇ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು ಈ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀ ಗೋ ಇನ್ ಟು ಟರ್ಬೋ ಸಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರು SFMCಲು ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಈಗ let me help you to understand the storage and its capacity limitations in your program, which we did previously. Open start C program, add two numbers dot C. I'll give a right click on int. Open ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಬಂದು ಇಂಟ್. ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ವರ್ಡ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋಗಿದೆ. ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್, ರೈಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್. ಈ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಂತ್ ನೋಡಿ, 8 ಬಿಟ್ಸ್, 8 ಬಿಟ್ಸ್, 16 ಬಿಟ್, 32 ಬಿಟ್, 64 ಬಿಟ್. 80 ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ತಲೆಗೆಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡ್ ಒನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಸಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು. ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ಇದೊಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಈಗ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ ನಂಬರ್ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ? 2 4 8 16 ಅಂತಾನೆ ಬರಬೇಕು.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ ಇದೆ.
16 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಈಗ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ ರೇಂಜ್. ಇಷ್ಟಲ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗು. ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋರೆಲ್ಲ ಗಾಡಿ ಓಡಿಸ್ತೀರಾ? ಒನ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಗಾಡಿ ಓಡಿಸ್ತೀರಾ? ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಈಗ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಾ ಇದೆ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಹೋಂಡಾ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಾ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಮೆಮೊರಿಗೂ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಐ ನೋ ಇಟ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ಬಿಟ್ ಟ್ರಿಕಿ, ಬಟ್ ಈಸಿಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್. First, tell me the type of fuel. What the type of fuel you will store in Honda Activa?
ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲ್.
Petrol. Second, can I know the capacity of it in the form of liters?
4 liters.
Can I store more than that?
No sir.
Correct. Now, anyone who is riding a bike, for example, let me take the TVS Apache, which is mine. In this, I can store the type. I can store petrol. The capacity is 16 liters. Okay, let me take example of Tata Hexa. Very important now. The type of fuel, diesel. Capacity. Now always remember, anything which you want to store anywhere, it will always come with two limitations, type and capacity. I can store 60 liters. So even though I can store petrol in Honda Activa, 16 liter store ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
So limitation ಏನು? Capacity.
4 liters.
ಸೊ ನೀವು ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ 2 ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಟೈಪ್, ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನೌ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಹೌ ದಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್. ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ, so now I will go into the program. I will show you 2 data types. The rest of the things will be very easy. First data type. So I'll show you int, and I will show you the float, the long double one. Okay, the short int anyhow it doesn't work properly. in this Turbo C. So let me close all the windows and let me create a new file. First, let me shift to DOS shell. CD Jan 2025. Let us understand only the data type and variable, which is int. And now let me go into the editor, Control N, Control A, data type int.c. Hash include stdio.h void main. I will take one variable num1. Now, if I want to store data, I can give the value 32,000. If I print 32,000, it will print because it is in the limitation. If I try to store num1 with 45,123, sorry, this won't be stored. It will not give you error. It won't store or it won't give you the result what you're expecting. Just clear it. Let me show you one by one. So you'll learn this. There is one more interesting concept to remember. Every variable can store only one value at a time, which I'll be discussing. So now it's very simple. I have given two values. The first value goes like this. 8 will work. Well, it doesn't work like that. It is clearing the screen. This is the value given. If I print it, you will see that output here. Can you see that 32,000? Yes. Now, I'll clear the screen. If I try to store a value which is beyond the limitation, nimga value ತೋರಿಸ್ತಲ್ಲ correct? The concept and the question to everyone is, if you are trying to store a value which is beyond the limitation, it won't. So that limitation is here. You cannot store values beyond this value, the range. Anyone who has a doubt in this, only this specific line with range. You cannot store a value beyond this range. As simple as if I try to store beyond 4 liters in Activa, it will not be there. Second important point, if I try to store diesel in Activa, that is the wrong type of fuel. So this type is deciding what to store, length, the capacity, and this is the range of values what you can store. So when it comes to 4 liters in Activa, it doesn't mean that I have to store always 4 liters. I can store 2 liter, I can store 1 liter, I can store a petrol of 50 rupees also. But you cannot exceed the limitation. But if you go with unsigned long 32-bit, or if you go with unsigned int, you cannot store negative value, but you can increase the limit to 65,535. This artha aita? Unsigned int artha aita? Int artha aita? And unsigned long artha aita? Range ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ನಾವು. Are we clear? Anyone has any question on two things, the storage capacity and what you want to store? And today I'm just explaining int so that you are familiar with this data type with unsigned, unsigned long, and int. First understand int, then you will easily understand unsigned int also. ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ? ನನ್ನ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತದೆ ಸರ್.
ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ನೋಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ದು, ನೀವು ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ, ನಾವು ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್? ಸೊ ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂತು? What is the formula to calculate? If I have 1 bit, you can store 2 values. If I have 2 bit, you can store 4 values. If I have 4 bit, you can store 16 values. Okay now? Now, if I have 8 bit, you can store up to 256 values. Now, don't just think that I'm explaining you all these things. Not only here, this you will observe in many places, which I will explain in future. This is very, very important. 254, 256, 255 and more. Now, if I give you n bit, can you tell me the value stored? Idanna assignment ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. I'll explain it. I have 1 bit 2 values, 2 bit 4 values, 4 bit 16 values, 8 bit 256 values. If I say that I give you 10 bits, can anyone tell me what is the values you can store?
1024.
Sorry?
512.
226.
Preeti was telling something. Preeti, ಹೆಂಗ್ calculate ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅದನ್ನ?
2 power n.
2 power?
N.
2 power n. What is n here?
So how many bits there?
Why it is 2?
We have only zeros and ones.
Very good. So the answer is, formula to calculate the number of values is 2 to the power of n. ಇದನ್ನ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ 2 to the power of n ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. 1 bit 2 bit 4 bit ಮಾಡಿ 10 bit ಮಾಡಿ, ನೀವು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. This is the formula. The next one is to calculate the actual values what you can store. So here it is 0 to 15, or it will be 2 ranges. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇದನ್ನ explain ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. If it is 0 to 15, which is only positive value. If I want to store negative values, it is -8 to 0 to 7. It is 15 values, 16 values. E16, let us learn the 16 values clearly in these two tables. Okay, I want you people to be very clear in future. So first I will show you 0 to 15, which is the same numbers which you people did. 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 1. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 8 4 2 1 ಲಾಜಿಕಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ 8 4 2 1. ಈ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ನಾನು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಈಗ 4 ವರೆಗೂ ಆಗಿದೆ. 3 ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕು. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿ 16 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್. 16 ಬೇರೆ 15 ಬೇರೆ. 16 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ 0 1 0 0, next 5 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 1, next 8 1 0 0, 9, 1 0 0 1, 10, 1 0 1 0, next 11, 1 0 1 1, next 12, 1 1 0 0, next 13, 1 8 4 8 4 12 0 1, 1 1 0 1 1 1 1. This is 15. Now it will be positive or negative, then 4 to 1. So first it is always 0, 0 0 0. It is 0. 0 0 0 1. It is positive 1. Okay. Next 0 0 0. Sorry, 0 1 0. This is positive. Yella positive. 0 0 1 1. 0 1 0 0. This is next ಬರದೇನು 1 ಆಯ್ತು. Next 5. 1 0 1 6 0 1 1 0 7 0 1 1 ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಇದೊಂದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ 1 1 0 0 ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು 1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್. 0 0 1 ಇದು -1. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್. 1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್. 0 1 0 1 ಇದು 2 ಆಯ್ತು. 3 ಬೇಕು. 0 1 1 4 ಬೇಕು. 1 1 0 0 5 ಬೇಕು. 1 4 0 1. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 6 ಬೇಕು. 1 ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ಗೆ. 1 1 0. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ 4 5 ಆಯ್ತಾ. 1 0 1 5 6 7 1. ಇದು -7. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ 1 2 3 ಇದು 16 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು 16 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬಂದು 0 ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. ಇದು -8. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ 1 2 3 4 ಅದು -8 ಅಂತಾನೆ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಕಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಮುಂದೊಂದಿನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇದು -2 -3 -4 -5 -6 -7. ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ವಾಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ದಿ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ. 0 to 255 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? 0 to 255 ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೆ, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೆ -128 to 0 to 127. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. 16ಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಮೆಮೊರಿಗೆ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಷ್ಟ ಬಂದ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ನೀವು. ಇದು ಶಿಲ್ಪ ಪುಟ್ರಾಜು ಯುವರಾಜ್ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
ಸರ್ ನನಗೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು. ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನೋ ಅರ್ಥ
ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಸರ್.
ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಬರ್ದಿ ನೋಡಿ ಪಿ ಅಂತ.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಪಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0 ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್.
ಓಕೆ.
ಪಿ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ 0 ಇದೆಯಾ 1 ಇದೆಯಾ?
0 ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
0
ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್
ಇದ್ರೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್, 0 ಇದ್ರೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್, 1 ಇದ್ರೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಗಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸರ್.
ಇನ್ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ 3 ನಂಬರ್ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
0 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಡ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈ ಲೈನ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಈ 0 ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಅಮ್ಮ?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಈಗ ಈ ಉಳಿದಿರೋದೇ 4 to 1.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಈ ಮೂರನ್ನು ಆಡೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನು?
0
0 0 1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1. 5 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 4 ಮತ್ತೆ 2 ಬೇಕು. 1 0 1.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲೂ 1 0 1 ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 0 1 ಇದ್ರೆ 5. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅದು.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇನ್ನ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಇದು 4 ಬಿಟ್ಗೆ. ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ ಬಂದ್ರು ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾಗ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಈ ಕಡೆ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first question to everyone. 4 bits ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇದು.
Yes, sir.
Whatever I've explained is for 4 bits. If you are able to understand 4 bits, then you have to apply the formula to all the other bits. And very simple, I will apply this to 16 bits because we are trying to learn this data type in C and C++ program. ಯಾರಿಗಾರು ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? Perfect. If you're clear with this, now I would like to explain integer in C programming, which is having 16 bits memory. So first thing which I am trying to explain is when we have int data type, first how many values we can store? You can store up to 65,536 values. So if you are storing, which is only starting from 0, it is 0 to 65,535. If it is positive and negative, it is minus 32,768 to 0 to 32,767. This is the range what we got from the formula, which is 2 to the power of 16. This is your 0 to positive numbers. This is 0 to, let me put it 2. This is the value what you can stay, and this is the value which you can store in signed numbers. Either you cannot store a value beyond this limitation. That is the limit of your integer data type in C and C++ or in the 16 bits memory. ಯಾರಿಗಾರು ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? This is very important, everyone to understand. Perfect. When you're watching the video, if you get the doubt, feel free to let me know. Today, my agenda was just to explain int data type, naming rules, and don't forget you cannot store more than one value at a time. Okay, having said this, now we will be moving with operators, remaining data types. So you mentioned about float, character, and void. So don't worry, we will have a couple of days to learn and lot to learn. And this is applied for compiled languages. This is applied for compiled languages. We have interpreted languages like JavaScript, SSJS, AMPscript, right? When we are dealing there, we will learn how the things go there also, but you will not find a data type concept directly, but you will have it. But we have to learn that too. First, understand one data type very clearly, limitations and others which we have a lot more to discuss for sure. I just wanted to bring a thought in your mind about bits. How do you calculate the memory and what is the limitation of that memory to store data? Ultimately, everything is stored in zeros and ones in computer language, irrespective of the language what we learn. Having said this, I'll be stopping the session number 2 on January 7th, where we discussed about variables and data types. Not deep dived into it, but probably we have learned something, how to store data. Without storing data in memory, we cannot process it and output it. The next is all about operators. Once again, I'm not restricting myself to a language like C or C++. It is generic, but we will stick, when we go to that language, we'll try to learn more about that there. Okay. This is what I'm planning to go with session number 3. As usual, it's a break for 10 minutes, anyone and everyone who is attending this training session live. Thank you. 10 minutes break.